one. All right, guys, tonight I have an awesome female investigator with me tonight. You guys know who she is, and if you don't, you need to go check her out. She is awesome. This is the second time Shari has came back on here to talk with me, and I'm excited. So thank you, Shari. Thank you for coming on here.
Of course, you know me anytime.
So Shari, we're going to jump right into this because, I don't want to keep Shari on here. Shari's a busy woman, and I really appreciate her taking the time to talk to me.
All good. It's all good.
Shari, can you tell everybody, how did you come across Steve and Dave and Tango? How did this happen, girl? How do you get
so Steve, Dave, and Tango?
Oh, did I say it wrong? Oh gosh, forgive me.
I won't say anything.
That was fun. I messed up.
Jay, Steve, and Dave, yeah.
Yes.
You know how many people say that? It's so funny. Yeah.
Do they? Good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. I've been friends with Jay forever, like over 20 years. We met at one of his TAPS events forever ago. When I started out doing investigations, I mean, back in the 90s, doing whatever I could do with the researches and all that other stuff, I eventually found out about TAPS and that. So I went to one of their events, and that's how I met Jay and other TAPS members. And then throughout the years, I met Steve and Dave. So I've known them for a very long time. Prior to me going on the show, it's like early 2000s, long time ago.
You've known these guys for a long time then.
Yeah.
So were you doing investigations already? Were you already in the field doing your own thing before you met these guys?
Absolutely. I started in the 90s, and I'm going to say like around that 95 year. Because I had my own experiences. I was living in a house that became very active. Throughout my life, I've always experienced things, but when I was younger, I was kind of always, I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, nothing, so I would just kind of ignore everything and whatever. And then once we moved into this house, there was way too many things going on. And, the regular things like the footsteps and the knockings and people talking and doors opening up and closing and lights turning on and off. That was all the time. Mm-hmm. And my mother had a lot of experiences when she was in the house by herself. I feel bad. So she had a lot of her own experiences. And she actually saw this regular spirit, and she described that as kind of like an Abe Lincoln, long beard, top hat, long coat type of person. She always saw this person in the house. Nobody else saw it except for her.
Oh, wow.
I've experienced everything else. I just never saw that person. And there was a lot of stuff happening, but this one particular night, which kind of got me into what the hell is going on, because I never want that to happen again. I came home from my boyfriend at the time, now my ex-husband, but I came home so I was going out with this guy. And then I came home. As soon as I got into bed, as soon as I laid down, something grabbed my ankles and held my ankles down. And so when I got up to look what was there, and, there was nothing, but then they grabbed my wrists and then pushed me down. And that's when I was like lifting up my head, because I'm trying to get out of this, because they only had my wrists and my ankles. So it wasn't like a whole body pressure. It was like you could feel hands, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was trying to yell down the hallway to my parents. And as soon as I did that, they put their hand over my lips, my mouth, but I could feel their fingers like on my lips. Mm-hmm. So again, it wasn't like a pressure, like you could feel their fingers, and they pushed my head down. And right after that happened, there was a doppelganger of my boyfriend. So
no, girl.
So for a split second, I'm thinking, because I couldn't understand, and I was just like, I just left him at his house. Is he here? Am I there? Like, like, because you can't process, like, how can he be in my room right now? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's going on. And he was solid, just like, you and me. And then he came around the corner, and then he just kind of like leaned over. And so it was just kind of like, like face to face. However, it was just like it was just like this part, because his face was like a distant black look. So it's almost like seeing out to the sky in the pitch dark, it's just like that distant black look. But everything else, like he had like his hair, the face structure, the sweatshirts that he normally wears, the sweatpants that he normally wears, like all of that stuff. And then when he finally got up, I have no idea how long this whole process was, but then like he got up and then he started walking away. As soon as he was walking away, I heard like like the shuffle of the thighs, like like when people walk, the shuffling of the thighs. So I heard that, and I heard the footsteps in the carpet. And then so he went over there, and then as soon as like I could see over the bed, when he was going over there, I noticed that he didn't have anything from his knees down. So like a solid, this portion. I know you can't see, but this portion of me. And then the door opened up, and then he just went out, and then the door closed behind him. There was light actually in the hallway. It was almost like a dim light. So when he went out, the door shut, that light went out. And then that's when everything was lifted off of me. Ever since that night, it took me a very long time to shut the lights. Like when I was going to sleep,
I've been there.
The door was completely open, because I'm like, I don't want anything behind the doors.
Been there too.
Yeah, the lights were completely on. I had the bed where there's like drawers, so nobody could be underneath my bed. So that was okay. And I had the TV blasting, because I didn't want to hear that. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to hear any ruffling. I don't want to hear, like, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to see any, like, nothing. So for a long time, that freaked me out. So because of that, I understood how strong they could be. I understood, like, oh my God, they can hold somebody down and you can't do anything. They can make you not say anything. Like, I was in here and I couldn't even yell to my parents for help. Like, like nothing. It was just really scary. So at that point, that's when I started looking more into it, doing all the research. Again, this was in the 90s. So this all wasn't here. So a lot of books, and as many people that you can talk to about this subject, because again, back then, not that many people talked about it. So I just kind of did that for years, got into going to friends and families, locations, and friends of friends and families, and got into as many places as I possibly can, because I wanted to just try to figure what the hell is going on. And I never actually investigated my house. So we already moved out by the time I was like, okay,
probably ready to investigate.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want to investigate the house because I lived there. So like, I'll investigate anywhere else, but your house is your house, and it's like, I don't want anybody here. I don't want, like, I don't want to investigate anything, because, I'm trying to get out of that, However, ever since I lived, I've always lived with, houses with activity in it, just like this one. So now, obviously, I'm fine with it. But at that point in time, I was just trying to get over that situation still, because it was still kind of like stuck in my head. And so that made me nervous. But when I was out at other locations, I was great. I was fine. But I think because I was just so interested in learning more about this and having more experiences and all of that. So anyway, so I had that experience. And then like I said, trying to do as much as I can. And then as soon as I felt comfortable, that's when I started going to other people. And I got a team together and did whatever I can, because I wanted to get into it because of the experiences that I had. I used to sit outside of my driveway waiting for people to come home because I wouldn't go in the house by myself. I know that fear. I know the fear of the room and living with it, not knowing what's going to happen and all of that. So I get it. Been there, I get it. So now I wanted to help other people that were kind of going through the same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I had my group. I've had it, for many years, but then I stopped it for issues, personal issues going on. So I stopped that, but I still, while I had my group, I also helped other local teams in the area, because back then we did that. We helped each other,
Yeah.
So I had my group, I helped the other people, and then I get rid of my group, but then I still continued to help other people, all the other groups. But that's, kind of what we all did. We did it to help all of these, whether it's a home or a business or whatever it is, and then you're helping the person trying to figure out what the truth is and what's going on, and teaching those people the different things that it could be, and, and all of that. So that's kind of how I got into it. So that's in that range right before I started my team, is when I met TAPS, and then I kind of went on from there.
Okay. Do you remember what it was like the first time you ever filmed? I mean, like the first time ever. I mean, what was were you nervous? I mean, how did you feel about that?
Oh God. I remember, I do. I remember because I see, even though I was friends with them, it's just weird being in that environment, so now you're with those people that are here, like on the TV. So I don't know. And then you kind of get into your head, like, oh my God, all these people are going to be watching me do this. And so you think about that too.
Yes. Yeah.
But when you put all that aside, I was also thinking, because you have the cameramen. So one of the first things that I did was that Sam went into the building first, and then it was Sam, me, and then the camera guy. So Sam went in, and then I opened up the door for the camera guy. And so the guy's like, "It's not how it works." I'm like,
it was like, go on.
But you're so used to hoping, there you go. Go ahead. And he's like, no. I follow you. And I was like, okay. So I mean, it's those things I kind of had to get used to, because I felt bad, like kind of ignoring the camera guy, or and
You're just being
rude to
polite.
him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, sorry. So I'd always, I'm sorry. They're like, just go. I'm like, okay. So that was tough. They honestly, when you're in the dark, you don't see them. They're over there. They're going wherever you're going. So you're just kind of doing your thing. So that was normal. It would just be like I'm with any other group. I was trying to watch what I say, because sometimes I don't say nice, appropriate things.
It's so hard though. You talk in a certain way, and then you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that,
Yeah. So I do, I was trying to figure out okay, I can't talk the normal way I talk. I can, because it's not like everything's going to be in there, but I didn't also I tried to be good, because if we were just chit-chatting and saying whatever, there's been many times where spirits or whoever would say something. So you know, that might have been a really good thing that they're saying. So then they want to say that, but here I am talking about crap like that I shouldn't be talking about. So like just things like that, I was kind of always thinking about prior to, you know, which normally I wouldn't. I'd be like, whatever. Yeah. So, but otherwise, no, everything was pretty much the same because you're just doing what you normally do, you know, and I'm just so used to working with so many different investigators throughout the years, you know, and you just kind of, you know, whoever you're set up with, you know, you just kind of go off of each other, you know, whether it's a fit or not a fit, you know, I mean, you're there to do a job and you're to do your work. Yeah. So I don't know. It was weird, but it was fun.
Shari, what would you say is one of the most scary moments, if you had one, out there when you were filming?
When I was filming, there was nothing scary. Like my scared was when I was in that bed. That was my scared.
Okay.
Since then, I've never been like scared. I've been startled, of course. If anybody says boo, I'm gonna jump. Okay. So I've been startled, but to be scared, no. Things have happened, but if something happens, you kind of get startled, but you're also stopping to say, okay, first of all, what was it? I'm sorry, the house alarm has been going off for the past 20 minutes. Seriously, it hasn't gone off all day. So I'm just trying to figure out.
Spirits are messing with your stuff.
I don't know what's going on. What was I saying?
Your scary moment, if you had one.
Okay, yeah. So I do get that startled thing. So when I do get started, like I might jump, but then you have to like, okay, first of all, what was that? You know, let's go figure out what was that big bang? What was this? What was that? And figure it out first. And then, you know, and then whatever. Like for example, because I was just watching this little thing with somebody before. And it was like a summer, the Phillips house, maybe. I can't remember which place it was, but like Jay and I were out in that little kitchen area in the back of the house. And there was, you know, like this baby crying over here. And it was like, and I was just doing an interview. We were done investigating, but I was just doing an interview with the camera to kind of go over everything. And all of a sudden this baby was crying and it sounded like it was right here. And I was like, oh my God, like this, that's so weird. Like you guys hear it? Cause it was like so loud. It was right here. And then all of a sudden this huge crash from upstairs in the attic. And I mean, seriously, it sounded like they just toppled over all the cabinets and everything. It was just so loud. So we jumped. We're like, oh my God. But then we went upstairs and you figure it out. Like, okay, there's nothing that moved. So it was just a, you know, loud noise. It's not going to scare you. It's not going to make you run out or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I've never ran out. Like, and there was another oh my gosh, where was it? They canted the mines. There was like they're building that that there's only men were only supposed to be in there. They used to wash up in the back and all of this other. So Chelsea and I were in this room, and again, it was a feeling that I've never had, and it almost felt like the whole ceiling was gonna just fall down. Huge loud crack, and then you actually feel like something like on your, you know, and I yelled out, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I've never yelled out before. Like, oh my God, I mean, it creeped me out. Like, oh my God, I've never screamed before like that. So I was very startled and I like screamed out, but like, those are really the only two like that really got to me, with me, like jumping and almost screaming, you know, but again, it was nothing. It was just a noise. Yeah, but nothing scary.
Nothing scary.
No.
Okay. So what do you think about these paranormal apps. Do you I know that, you know, a lot of people believe they use them, and that's fine. I personally don't use those, but I'm not, you know, against anyone who does use them. But what is your thoughts? Do you or do you even use a spirit box when you're out there? Do you like them or any of those?
I personally, again,
Uh-huh.
everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their specific devices that they love, that they
Yes.
use all the time. They get great stuff out of it. Great. You know,
Mhm.
you do you. That's that's fine. Having said that, I don't care for the spirit boxes. Now, I know that people say that they love it and that they get good things out of it. I might have heard a few things here and there through it, like a long time ago. But I also have an issue with things like that the spirit boxes and the Ovilus and I know there's a few other out there, the phone apps,
Yes.
because there's so many false positives
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So if there is a question of, okay, this guy, you think he's saying John or whatever, I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, you don't want to second guess it. If you're helping somebody and you're trying to get answers for them, you know, we want to make sure that our information is correct. We don't want to we don't want to just think that we might have heard somebody saying something, somebody's name coming out, and then give this person incorrect information. I am huge on the recorder. Give me a name.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the name, the guy saying his name, the girl saying hers name, whatever. Having the spirit box also, first of all, it hurts my ears too. So I can't,
Yeah.
it hurts my ears. So I can't listen to it also. The other thing is that when people do it, because people bring it to events, fine, you can use whatever you want. But I kind of have to move away from it because I can't, it hurts.
Mhm.
So, but I also, every single time, I always hear if there's 10 people listening to it, you get 10 different answers.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody hears something different. And then everybody thinks that they are right. So it's like, well, okay, is it Tim? Is it Jim? Is it whatever? You know, like Tim, like, I don't know. I have no idea who it is, but neither do you guys because nobody's getting the same information. Honest, I swear to God, you've heard how many times it's been going on. It started probably, 10, 15, 20 minutes before.
Well, on that note, Shari, do you believe that spirits follow you from locations?
They could. I mean, like, I don't know because I can't see them. Like, I don't know who's coming. I don't know who's coming with me.
In your opinion, do you think that's possible that spirits travel like that?
I think that they could. I don't think that they have. Like when I go to places, I don't always say, okay, listen, you can't come with me. You can't do this. You can't do that, or whatever. I usually don't say that. I'm only the people that are with me if that's what they say, or like mediums. I know like mediums say that and stuff like that. So if I'm with those people, they usually say that, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can't come with me. But that's not something I normally say all the time.
Okay.
I've never actually experienced. I don't know because I've never went to a place and then came back here and then noticed anything different, if that makes any sense. I don't I know that things are here, but I kind of am putting it to it's just my family members. I'm not thinking it's some guy from prison. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that happening. Having said that, again, because I don't want to dismiss the whole thing because it is possible. I just,
Mhm.
um, that person that was with me at the house holding me down,
Mhm.
When we first moved in there, nothing happened for like a year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was. Nothing. And then something happened. Something started up. So did somebody come home with us? Did they just happen to be walking by the house and they came in, they liked us, they stuck, they stuck around?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how that thing got in there. I have no idea. Also, there was another house that I lived in. Again, nothing was going on. I went to a private residence. I was there by myself, did an investigation over there because they said that they were having things going on. They happened to move. They allowed me to go in, check it out when nobody was in there, no furniture, nothing. I went in there. It was just nothing was going on. So I was like, okay, forget it. I come home, stuff started happening.
Mhm.
So is that from that place? Because I know that those people told me stuff was going on. I didn't get it when I come home. Different things. I don't know if it's from there. I can't tell you definitely because that person's. I can't say that.
Mhm.
But I guess it's possible. But it just, I don't know.
I get it.
You,
Trust me.
you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to.
Now me, I got stuff following me home.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know?
like,
It's
like if you seriously, like, if you think about it, I mean, so I've been, since like 95, whatever, when I started doing all of this, and the amount of places that, like we go to and the types of places that we go to, you would think these people would want to get out of where they are and be
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm going home with this person because I can get out of this, like crazy place or whatever to come home. But I don't have anybody here like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
So it could happen.
I mean,
Anything could happen, right?
don't know.
Yeah.
What would you say? What is one of your most memorable moments with the ghost hunters?
Moments. Most memorable. Um, I honestly don't know. I don't really know how to answer that because I just feel like
Was
I
there like
just
a
feel like
special
I mean
guest?
I don't know. I don't really know, huh?
Could there have been like maybe there was a special guest or something that joined you guys, and that was you're laughing, girl.
No, I don't. Well, no, because I don't want to. If any guests were there, I don't want to be like, no guests. Like, no, like because I love all of them,
Mhm.
but they're honestly, I don't, I not nothing pops up into my head with any
Okay.
like special things. Also, I do have to say I have a really bad memory. So, so
So
there
you
could have
probably
been
do,
some
but you
crazy
just
nice
don't
things.
remember.
I just don't know what they were. I don't know.
So we have a question here. They want to know, Shari, do you have a favorite place that you investigated?
Favorite place. Favorite place.
There's so many.
I know. I know. I know. They're really it these questions I can never honestly answer. Um I did, like we've again, you go to so many places and you have so many different types of experiences. Um like the Hoover Dam was pretty cool, to actually go inside and be able to investigate that place. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Um, oh God, I don't know. Again, I have a really bad memory. I'm sorry.
Do
There's
you,
just
do you like jails or prisons or
I
asylums or locations like
um of course the prisons and the asylums, of course you can I just feel like, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of stuff going on in there.
that?
Um but I mean there's not one favorite place, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. And you can have no activity going on in one place and this little, like that little small place I was just telling you about, that summer,
Mhm.
that was like huge. Like there was just so much going on. in that one little place, and then you go to some, big prison or whatever, and you hardly get anything. So,
Do you do solos?
Size doesn't matter. Huh?
Do you ever do solos, Shari?
I'm usually with a partner.
Would you do a solo?
Like the only time, like if we would do, like we would do solos as in, okay, well, you go in that room, I'll do in this room, but like we're generally in the same area, but like, let's split up. You go to that room, I'll go to this room and see what happens. That solo. When I used to do solos a long time ago, that would have been for private investigation.
Did you think you got more communication when you were alone doing a solo?
Again, I just feel like every place is going to be different because you don't know what you're getting in touch with. So like when I did solo home investigations, you can talk and talk and talk, but it's also good to have somebody else with you so that you could kind of feed off of each other, talk to each other, and, just kind of like do different things. And you can always break up and do things. But to me, it wasn't, I got more solo than not solo, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
It's always hard to kind of answer those for me, just because I feel like every place is different.
Yes, and I agree.
Yeah.
I did see, Shari, there was one episode, and I don't remember where you were, but I do know that they had you sleeping in the bed with cameras on you. So I don't know how long you were in there alone or whatever the case was, but
I was I was upstairs and Sam was downstairs. So we were left alone and we had the cameras rolling all night. So again, I was solo. I was in my room solo, but she was also in the house with me. So I wasn't alone. Do you know?
Yeah, I get it. You weren't the only one there.
Right. So Sam was there and I was there.
Though. It's so creepy. Huh? That's still creepy though,
Yeah. But again, like it's a rush now.
Yeah.
So, of course, that night when I was held down, no, that I don't want that. But now years later, it's like, that's fine. I'll be alone. That's cool. I'll just do whatever. Because that you're looking for that now. You want that. You're like, you get so into it. Like it's fascinating now.
Yes.
And I definitely feel more stronger than I was before because I didn't know about this, so that they could just do that. But that ever since having that and then building up my strength to where I'm okay, whatever, I don't really care what you do to me. You could do whatever you want in front of me and I'll just be like quiet. Like last night there was rustling going on in my room and I'm like, you're not allowed in my room. Get out. I'm at that point, which obviously 20-something years ago, I was not there. I was just like, okay, lights, and everything going on.
Oh yeah.
So I love it now. Yeah.
I totally get it. I really do. There's another question here. Shari and Mandy, do you do prayers or carry protection items with you during a investigation?
I do not. I don't. Again, I think you being a medium, because I feel like all my medium friends, they do all of that. They carry stuff. They do their I don't carry anything. I don't. I try not to like wear whatever I just kind of go in plain.
You just go in just like. I mean, I get it, because some people might expect, if you expect something to follow you, you're probably going to have that happen. But if you just go in there like, no, nothing can follow me, and that's probably what spirit is picking up from you. Nothing's going to follow her home,
I mean, I feel so. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I do believe spirits and angels and other things. Those are my beliefs, and I always feel. I guess I do talk to them in my own time, not while I'm investigating, kind of like in my own time. So when I'm kind of doing that, I'm always like, thank you for protecting me and whatever. So I guess in my head, when I go to these places, I don't always say, okay, protect me and do it. I don't do that. In my head, I'm always just thinking they're on the other side protecting me. So I guess that's why I always just feel comfortable anyways. If that makes any sense.
Yep. They're just dropping in the questions, girl. So I'm just throwing them up here. Uh, Shari wants to know, Shari, although when inviting viewers to investigations, you have to be very careful. Have you ever had an incident with a viewer that joined you on an investigation?
Oh, I was just reading that again. What was that? Wait, I can see right. You have to, when inviting viewers from, have you ever had an incident with a viewer? With a viewer, I guess I'm assuming that she means a guest. I guess.
I think so.
Any incident with a guest? Not really. Some of the guests that we have, obviously not the regular investigators that, the other teams that we have on.
Mhm.
Obviously, they're investigators and we all work together, and that's fine. Some people that we had on that didn't normally investigate, they were all great. They were all, like, we told them, what to do, how to do it, how to use some of the equipment and whatever. But I mean, they were all great. There was no incidences. There might have been some yelling and running at one point. But overall, it's been great. It's always good to have other people come in to investigate, to kind of see from their point of view, that they've never investigated before, and doing all the disproving, debunking, trying to find alternate things that could be going on.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know, it is kind of cool working with those types.
So, boy, they're coming. They are just hitting us hard with these questions, guys. I'm so sorry if I can't get to all your questions. But someone's wanting to know which does Shari enjoy more, private paranormal investigations or TAPS investigations?
Um,
Both.
I know. Again, everything is so different, I mean,
Yeah.
I love the combination of, of things. When I do some private things at home, I guess it's more personal to me because it's more people, like it's the people that I know. I hang out with them more one-on-one. So we kind of have that different bond.
Mhm.
When I'm with the guys or any of the TAPS groups, it's more the whole group of us are helping. So I'm not doing as much as what I'm doing over here because it's all of us helping that. So that's not as personal as this, if you know. So what, a little bit of everything is fine. I love doing the large places. I wouldn't do that, by myself, on my own, just, whatever. So when I'm with the TAPS and we get to go out to these larger places, I love that too.
I would too.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a balance.
It's going to be different with different people.
Yeah.
Because everybody's energies when they're there together, it's just different. So you got to kind of go with the flow over here with these guys, and then you're over here with these guys. So it's going to be different no matter what.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
I absolutely, yeah. I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Another question: has your name ever been mentioned while investigating? On a recorder.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, along with many other things that they have called me. So yeah, which I can't say, but I've been called many different names also.
Oh, I believe it. They've done, said things to me too.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is depending on where you're at, I think, prisons that you might get, you know,
Yeah.
definitely. I gotta know Sherry, do you think it is hard as a female, being a female investigator out there in the field? Do you think it can be difficult for females?
Um, I hear that it is.
Mm.
Me working with my team works like this. So, the four of us are always like this. There's no better or anything. There's none of that.
Mhm.
So to me, I'm okay. I have heard people saying things out there that are not like that. Um, you obviously see a lot more shows that have more men than women. I have had some people that have not treated me great
Mhm.
because I was a woman. Um, so I mean, I guess I can see that happen. I'm trying to be
You're trying to
obviously
word it. No, I
I can't
understand.
say certain things,
You're trying to figure out how to say it, the word. I
Yeah,
totally understand.
without
I feel that way sometimes.
yeah.
Do people look at me like, oh, she's going to be too scared to go and do this, or
Well, you
and
know what? There was a point, not Ghost Hunters. There was a point where, um, it was kind of like you make it look pretty over here, and you do this and you do that, and you just make sure everything is clean. And I'm like, you want me to see? You just want me to sit here and organize and keep everything clean? Is that what you is that? So I did get that. It was only one person, so it's not everybody. It has nothing to do with the ghost hunters.
Mhm.
This was another situation. And also, I had a lot of interviews um, with people for other shows, and you can kind of tell what they were looking for.
Mhm.
And I was like, "That's not me.
Yeah,
I
I
I will
get it.
do this. I will not do this show if that's how A, you're going to talk to me, B, how you want me to talk, or
Mhm.
how you want me to be. No, it's not going to work out. Nope.
I get what you're saying. I understand that.
Yeah.
Is there a location that you would like to go back to because maybe when you were filming or even outside of filming, any location you want to go back because maybe you didn't get enough answers and you felt like you could have got more? There was just unleft, questions.
Again, there's a lot of places. I would go back to any place that had a lot of activity, because it's like that's what you're looking for. You just want to, keep going to these places that are just things are happening all the time. So I would love to go to those places.
Mhm.
Um, again, I can't really, I
I
I
get it.
can't answer specific places because I don't
So
really know.
I get it, girl. But I'm going to say this. We have met Sherry, guys. So if you guys didn't know, us girls, we went all the way to Salem. We hung out with Sherry the whole weekend. Sherry, girl, what do you think? What did you think of the Ghost Sisters when you met us?
Um, I didn't know what I was going to expect, but but no, you guys were awesome. We had a really good time. Really good time. It would be good. Like I said, you guys got to come back out.
Mhm.
I am trying. I'm getting a few things together out in this area. People have been constantly, because I, live in the Salem area, Salem, New Hampshire, what the heck am I saying? Salem, Massachusetts area. And people are always asking me for events, places to investigate, and all this stuff. So I am in the middle of trying to get many locations because I am trying to do a big. I'll just say I'm just trying to do an event and multiple little things out here, and eventually it'll all go out. I'm just trying to get everything in order, and in the meantime, I am trying to investigate many places as I possibly can because I want to make sure that these places do have activity. We've discussed before, there's a lot of places where people are like, we are the most haunted this, most haunted that, but you're not allowed to investigate. So I am just trying to find these locations where I want to make sure that they are active, because when I open it up to people, I want people to come in and have activity.
An experience. You want them
and so I am really trying to push for that. I want people to have their own experiences. That you can use whatever you want. I don't care. Just, respectful, polite, and whatever it is to whoever we're contacting, but you can use whatever machines you want to, because I want people to have activities. There's unfortunately a lot of places that are faking a lot of crap. I don't, obviously, a lot of us are like kind of fed up with that. And they're kind of setting the story, and then they need to be in that location when people are coming in, and then they're reciting a story, and then those poor people who are paying so much money to experience things are kind of losing the whole experience, because these people who are kind of taking money are narrating the whole thing for them. And it just seems like more and more of that is happening, and it's disgusting.
So you would say that the field has definitely changed some since you started back in the 90s, right?
It's horrible.
It's definitely changed since I've started.
Yeah. Oh, it's really bad. And then, I do want new locations because people are going to the same locations over and over and over again. And yet you're going to have different experiences. Everybody has different experiences then, and of course, all the people that have demons everywhere, like in every single location's demons. And it's like, okay, well, I've been to all these places, and we stay there for at least a week. So when we're on a location, we're there for at least a week. The bigger the place, the longer we are there. We're 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, to be at this place.
So I have a question for you on that, Shari, not to cut you off. Yeah. So do you think that maybe different people going to these locations because they're looking for that type of, reaction with something like that, something darker, that they might get something more negative responses versus, going in, just communicating with spirit instead of that type?
That my answer might have been different a few years ago, but nowadays, people, I don't want to swear. Nowadays,
I cuss on here.
You do?
Yes. So don't hold back, girlfriend.
I didn't know. I was trying to be appropriate this whole time.
Chastity's like, well, no, I'm more, but Chastity's just let it.
Even when we were together, I was trying to be like, okay, I need to be good. And then once I heard you guys talk, I'm like, shit, okay.
Just go with it, girl.
No, there's just so much bullshit out there. Okay.
There you go.
So it's all about the clicks. It's all about the follows. There's so many people that have never investigated. They've never ghost hunted. It's just, oh, this is the big thing going on nowadays, and I can get likes and clicks and everything else, and people can follow me. So that's what they've been doing. But they've been doing the same thing everywhere they go. oh my God, it's a demon, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. But they're really not, they're really not investigating. It's just what it is. That's fine. You do whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit. What I don't like is that a lot of these, a lot of these people nowadays, I guess, I don't know, the younger generation, maybe. I don't want to generalize, anything, but like the younger generations that are kind of coming around to start watching paranormal stuff, or even older generation that are just starting to watch stuff, but they're watching TikTok, YouTube, and all these other things, and some of the shows, some other shows that are out there, and they're getting the wrong idea. So that's fine. If you understand that that's entertainment, good, have at it. What I don't like is the people actually believing this stuff. So now you're scaring so many people. You're not, these people are not understanding about the paranormal. And even those people don't understand it, because all they're doing is going in and doing whatever. And, so I don't like that.
You think that we have to set
like we have tried so hard to help people, and provide them with as much information as we possibly can. Like, don't think these little knocks and this and that is paranormal. Like, you can't. But yet you see so many of these people, it's like one little knock and they're like, it's like, stop. Because you're, again, so I guess I don't like that point. Again, you can do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But, say like this is entertainment, or whatever. I just don't, it's just really irritating that you kind of have to, I just feel like we're going back, like, Ghost Hunters and, Taps and other shows. They're trying to show you, go look for the answers, go do this, go that. Don't, expect you might have to call a plumber, might have to call an electrician or a pest guy, whatever, or a tree guy. Like, I don't know, you might have to do these other things, but don't expect everything to be that. So
everything to be paranormal. When I hear noises, I'm like, well, wait a minute, that could be an animal, because we are an abandoned building. So, or if it was spirit, maybe it'll do it again. So I try to debunk things, and some of my viewers probably get tired of it. Maybe it's not always going to be an animal, but I don't want to just feel like that it's always paranormal. It's always going to be a spirit.
Most of it, most of it's not going to be. But like I see like a lot of people, there's like one noise, and they're like, oh my God, and they ask again and nothing happens, and then they ask again and nothing happens, and so but yet they still go back. Well, we got that knock, somebody was here, and it's like, you can't prove that one little noise was anything, So I mean, whatever, that you have to toss it out. You cannot go with that one little thing and then nobody's gonna respond to you. It could be residual, absolutely, but you really have no, there's nothing to back it up, though, unless other things have happened, at the same time. Absolutely. But no.
You think Taps and Ghost Hunters, would you say they're trying to like set the, a different, show them how it's done, the younger generation? Do you feel like you guys have tried to set that throughout the years?
Well, we're doing what we always did.
Yes.
Like, we're on TV is what you see, what we do at regular investigations. Of course, you do that. You try to disprove, debunk. You try to find alternative things. You try to find whatever you can. You investigate as much as you can. People also don't understand that When we go to a place, like I said, it's at least a week. So at least a week, and then you go up from there, how big the locations are. And you're only getting the 42 minutes of airtime. So they kind of have to pick and choose of what's going on. There could have been more that happened, but they could only choose so much to fit in the 42 minutes.
Yeah.
So you also get that, oh, they're not asking this question and they're not doing this and they're not, we are. We're doing the same things as in, like checking for EMF stuff. We're trying to disprove and debunk and go through all the claims that we possibly can. Like we're doing all of these things. And I think in the beginning of Ghost Hunters, they used to show a lot of that, but it also takes up a lot of space. So they don't show that much of that anymore. They're trying to, show other different things. We haven't changed. We're not doing anything different. We're still doing what we need to do. We're not here. We want to teach as many people as we can, but we can't, if the younger people want to, see us, that's fine. But like, we can't force them to watch us and be like, no, like do this, do that. We would like to, because we don't want them growing up thinking that this other stuff is like real, or like you go into a haunted location and there's going to be demons everywhere. There's a demon in every house, every building. Like, no, that is not true. And I see it like with my children. My children grew up with this, so they understand. I see it with them like asking me questions because their friends know who I am. So they'll ask them. And then, so I get what these children are talking about. My children are 18 and 20. So kind of like in that range, their friends are always asking me all these questions. And I have to tell them, you can watch, as long as it's entertainment, go ahead, watch. It's funny. You can, whatever, that's fine. But I also try to teach them what I know, so that they're not like scared and whatever every time they go somewhere or whatever. And also, like, just last night, I did an investigation and I brought my daughter, her boyfriend, and my daughter and her boyfriend's two friends with me to the investigation. Told them all about the equipment. Here you go have fun, but did the whole speech and what we should look for and this and that. I mean, they were great. Of course, in the back of their head, they're seeing what they see on TV. So they were kind of like, oh my God, but I'm like, just no, don't get that out of your head.
Do you think that, do you think how you are in life, if you're a good person, you're going to be, and if you're still here, you're going to be a good spirit? If you're someone who was doing horrible things to someone and, that caused their death or something, do you think that could cause a spirit to be something negative and become how they were when they were alive? Because I think that happens.
They do say is that like, like whatever you are here, you're usually on the other side acting the same way. I have had experiences with, I'll give an example. This one person, I guess, was just a very mean drunk. Had a very, very bad relationship with his son. Long story, I'm not going to get into it, but excuse me. When I did this location, the guy came back and he was talking through the recorder, not any of those machines, like through a recorder, and he was saying sorry to his son. So
wow,
it's kind of like, okay, you were a complete ass to your son. The entire time, like the son just really had a really, really bad, growing up with his dad. And then for his dad to say, you know, I'm really sorry. So I guess, you know, I guess it could go both ways. Like maybe now that they know that they're over and, oh my God, this is what I did.
Yeah.
To be a nicer person because, oh my God, you know, or something. I also don't know, again, my beliefs, because, you know, this is just what I experienced, how I've experienced. That's how obviously you get your beliefs. Like ghost wise, I always think of like, that's somebody that's still here, in spirits. I always think they came, you know, over and then came back type of thing. So did he cross over and then come back? And then that's how maybe he understood what he did wrong, or, you know, or was he just here and he didn't cross over, but I don't know. Again, I have no, I guess these are like all the questions
that's why we do what we do,
trying to figure out.
We want to know,
Yeah.
questions. So we're hoping to get these, you know, confirmations from spirits.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, I mean, it was great. I mean, you know, when I do investigations and stuff like that, I get involved, but I try not to get too involved. So like, I don't sit there and, you know, cry with the people and everything else. This one, I was tearing, you know, because the son, you know, like he didn't step foot in that house where his daughter lives now, the entire time. So he never saw his grandkids or anything. Like, no, you have to come out of your house to go to my house to see, because he never wanted to go in the, like, that's how painful his childhood was. And then when I revealed everything that was going on in that house, and he heard his father saying, I'm sorry, like he started crying, and I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't even control it. I was like,
how could you not cry, you know?
I even told, I said, now he wasn't in that house since he was younger. And I told his daughter, who I was doing the investigation for, I told his daughter, like, please have him come. Like, please have him. Like, I know he doesn't want to be in here, but I really, really, like, he really needs to hear this. Like, he really needs to like hear this. And, you know, and she told him, and, you know, I talked to him outside. I'm like, I really would like for you to hear this. Like, while I'm doing the reveal, just listen to everything, hear everything, because it also had to do with with his grandson also. So like this whole,
so it was the whole family.
It was a whole family thing that we were getting into. So he came in and sat down and he listened to the whole, and so it's, as soon as he heard his dad, he was like, and, you know, I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, I can't, you know. It got extremely emotional, which is another reason why I love doing this.
Exactly.
You know, it's, you know, I'm not a medium, so you know, like how you can just tell people certain things, and it just, you know, it's just so emotional, and it's kind of like how we do it with, you know, having the recorders and having things on video and be able to show the people and have the people listen to their loved ones, you know, say certain things or whatever. And oh my God, it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's addicting to do this too, you
Yeah.
know? Oh my gosh. You go one time and it's like, wow, I need to go. I need to keep going.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I love doing the private ones because of that, but I also love doing the huge ones because, like, that's fun for me, you know. You know, I was just thinking of I can't, it's out. I was just thinking of another one that I was going to say, but can't remember.
Well, before we wrap this up, because I promised you an hour, we went over a few more minutes, but it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Do you ever see yourself investigating with an all-female team? Outside of the show.
Honestly, I like having the male female ratio.
You do?
I do. I love it. Do I go investigate with all the girls? Absolutely. You know, But if I was to do something for a customer, for a client, when I'm like trying to get as much information as I can, when I'm trying to like really, 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 really figure out like what's going on for these people, I do like man and woman, because you just don't know who you're coming in contact with. You know, sometimes the guys get better things, sometimes the girls get better things, or or if you have that little combination of energy with whatever, it I mean, sometimes if there's like some, older gentleman from whatever who talks down to women, they won't, I'm not going to talk to you, you're used, whatever. But when the guys come in, all for it. Or
Yep.
vice versa, if you get the guys that'll be like, yeah, come on, baby, and then, yeah, you'll get your, stuff. So I honestly, I have both. What is Wes? Wes.
I know, I'm reading this comment. I'm not gonna
Hey.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
funny.
Wes. I haven't really been reading these. I can't, you know why? Because I can't read, because then it'll totally get me off.
Because it messes you up when you're trying to talk. You totally lose your train of, what you're going to say, your thought.
Yeah.
At least I do. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I lost where I was at.
Yeah.
Well, Shari, it's been interesting. I always loved when I did the last time we did the live. It was really good. Like I said, my family started watching Taps in 2004, and I'll never forget walking in my mom's house and I'm watching this show, and I'm like, in the family living room, I'm like, what's this? I'm like, and they tell us, I'm like, oh wow, people's really doing this. So it became family time. That was our family thing. I mean, we didn't miss a show. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's it's awesome. When we do the events and stuff like that. I wanted to say when the events are coming up.
Yeah, go ahead and tell people where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
Let me see. So when we go to the events, from little, children to, like 80-year-old, people. It's just a huge range of people saying the same thing. Like, oh my God, I've, from day one, 2004, I've been watching it and you guys helped. It's family time and stuff. So it's amazing hearing these people and knowing that they've been watching it for this long and they do it with their family. And so it's just, it is pretty amazing. It is. I wasn't with the guy. Huh?
It's a wonderful feeling.
Oh my gosh. I can't even tell you how many people, like, they'll sit there and they'll like talk to Jay and just tell, thank you so much. Oh my God. And just a lot of them are crying. A lot of them want to give you, you're hugging so many people because they're really passionate about it. They're really helped them out for whatever troubles that they were going through and stuff. I mean, yeah, it is pretty amazing. It is amazing. What's the event? I was just trying to read.
Did you see what she said?
Now, as a tour guide, which one?
Trans Allegheny, she says.
Oh, Amanda. Oh, hi, Amanda. Stephanie, I just got your text. We went to Italy together.
I got to make it over to Italy.
Well, that was my birthday. Like, like my birthday wish. I'm like, all right, for my 50th, I want to get to Italy. Like, I just,
I told my husband, I want to go.
Did the event, and I mean, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so actually March 2nd and 3rd, which is next week, we're going to be in Evansville Horror Con in Indiana. May 17, Penhurst Asylum. June 8 and 9, Smoky Mountain Terror in Tennessee. August 22 and 24, Michigan Paracon, and November 2nd through 4th is New Jersey Para-Unity. And then there'll be a few private things in between. But yeah, those are like, I guess, like kind of like the main things that with the public ones that we have going on so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more question for you, Shari.
Okay.
How long do you see yourself doing paranormal investigations? Do you see it
Oh.
until the day you can't do it no more and they're wheeling you in a wheelchair? Or are you just going to go till, I don't know. That'll be me though.
Right? Like, I mean, if
Wheel me in here. I don't care.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, like when it's in there, like you just don't want to stop. You just keep craving it more and more.
And I don't see it going away for me.
Yeah, I mean, because there is no ending, so it's not like, I've been there, it's just like, no, but you still, even if you've been there, done that, you can still go because there's, like you said before, like you could still keep trying to get more and more information or trying to get more and more activity or whatever it is. Yes, it is addicting, Tina. Yes, it's very addicting. And every time you kind of communicate with somebody, you just kind of think back like, oh my God, I'm talking to somebody that's not here, but they're communicating, with you. This person could have been living 400 years ago. I don't know, but it's fascinating. I don't know.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to pass this down or do this. Well, I'm pretty sure I will end up doing this. I have 4 grandchildren, 4 granddaughters.
Yeah.
So, and I got identical twins, and I'm pretty sure the twins are going to probably want to follow their grandmother at some point. And I'm hoping, the next generation, come on over,
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But definitely see me doing this with my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And teaching them, trying to show them, the right way, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I started my kids young, only, like when you're in it, you just, that's your life. Like, that's how you are. So you're trying to teach your kids. And I used to live at the Danvers. It was the old Danvers Asylum. And then they turned it into apartments.
Oh, no.
So I lived up there for 3 years with my kids.
Jeez.
And, before I moved in there, I was like, because I talk to myself a lot, and like, if anybody's in here, I'm just telling you, like, I don't mind seeing you. You could do whatever. That's fine. Don't go near my kids. Do not go in their rooms. Don't talk to them. Don't show yourself to them. Don't go, just don't go near them. I did like the whole, and yeah, I mean, basically for the whole 3 years, it was pretty much, my daughter came into my room one time and she's like, they're moving things around. I can't sleep, and whatever. I'm like, okay. We go in there and I talk to them, like I say what I'm going to say, and then I make her say the same thing. Just repeat after me. You need to say it because you need to feel that. And, she said it, whatever, never again, never had any issues in her room. My son never came to me with any issues. But he did tell me later that things used to just like come out of his closet, but he's like, whatever. And he was the one who usually goes with me. So if I'm doing, if I'm going to set up an event, like I said, I go to these places because I want to make sure that there is activity in the location. So I went to go to this place in Salem, and I was talking to the manager. It was only me, the manager, my son's friend, and the person making popcorn. It was a theater. And everything else was locked up. So, it was downtime. I was talking to him, going through everything. The manager and I were up like near the projector area, and my son comes up and he's like, there's some guy downstairs. And he's like, got this suit on. He's got this weird hat and hair, and he's either smoking a cigar or a pipe. I can't remember. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah. So we go downstairs. There's nobody there. There's like a couch there. So he saw that person sitting there. And the person making the popcorn, they're like, there's nobody here and the doors are locked. Like, no. Come to find out, somebody else actually had that same experience. When I did the event there, it was amazing with the activity that we had. So it was a really, really good event. But he used to go with me to these places and do all of this stuff. So, and he was, this. So he grew up doing all of this with all of the equipment. And even though he saw that, he's still like, yeah, I don't know. I really haven't seen anything that like, what you've seen a full apparition.
Mm-hmm.
So many people haven't seen that, and they've been doing it for 20 years. They have to, you've seen that. Like you've seen things moving and coming out of your closet and doing all these things with me throughout the years. And he's
I had to do it. I seen he commented and I was like,
I was gonna stick up my middle finger, but I'm trying not to. Is that okay?
Go ahead, girl.
Yay. Oh my God. Pain in the ass.
He got to experience that. And I think that's funny how some people experiencing, they see these things and then they question it later, or they're like, I don't know if I really seen it. Or, that's my husband. My husband does that. He has seen things and then he'll question it every time. Every time.
Yeah. Right.
So.
I mean, but you do. If you see like shadows, or if you think you see, you're like, and you do start questioning yourself,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I try to tell him, like, he's experienced a lot. He definitely picks up a lot of stuff.
It sounds like he's
definitely, he's got something. He's got, We
are afraid to admit it, Tina. You're right. Well, Shari, it's been fun, and I promise I'll let you go this time, girl. I didn't keep you longer than I intended to. So, but hey, you know what? I love it. Everyone else seems to have loved it. So, all right. So, guys, we're going to end this, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. And go follow Shari, you guys. Go follow her. She's always doing something.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Okay.